Hi, everybody. I'm going to introduce Daniel. He is a very good friend of mine, but thank you, Daniel, for coming. I forget how many years you were the director there. I forget.
First of all, thank you, Joanna, for inviting me to your community. Thank you all for having me, and Laura and Brooke, thank you for helping organize and put this together. My name is Daniel. I was most recently the director for Little Dolphins for the last 7 years. And so the topic that I shared is a phrase that I've been using, which is curious parenting. Curious parenting is the process of being curious about your child, about their behavior, about their successes, about how they find calm in their body, about what triggers them. Being curious about it suggests immediately, the very first thing that it suggests is there is a reason behind their behavior. And if you were to imagine yourself, you know, when you have these toddlers, right, and they don't have the words, they don't have the language, they're also dependent on us for whatever it is they need. And they're coming to us and saying, hey, I need X, Y, and Z with their body, with their words. So imagine it's you have no words and you are dependent on someone else and you need something. So the first thing you do is you try to just go up to them, you tap them, pull their sleeve, they're not listening. Next thing you're doing is a little bit harder, like, hey, excuse me, right? Maybe even shake their arm. They're still not listening and you're not getting your needs met. What's the next thing you start to do? Some of us will shut down, be quiet, and realize that no one's here to help me. Others of us will cause disruption, cause chaos, and demand attention until we get what we need. This is still not a child intending to hurt us or disrespect us or undermine us. This is their best attempt at communicating something. And so what curious parenting is based on is understanding what is it that my child is trying to communicate. This is making it so that you build a relationship with your child that's not based on conflict or not heavy with conflict in complicated areas. It's meant to create connection, because without that connection, your child is going to start to question, this is not a guarantee, but this happens for many kids, start to question if you're the person they can come to when they're having heavy emotional needs. Or they may translate that I need to cause disruption to get the attention I want. So I see one question from Leah. I understand to avoid the words good job. Is that part of pointing out what they are doing well? What experts are sharing with us about using the words good job is, A, it's overgeneralized, right? And I do it myself, by the way. I'm the high five, great job. Please don't. I think it's very important to understand there's no perfection in this stuff. Not every kid responds that way to it. Not every parent is going to stop doing it or do it. That's not the point. It's just sharing with you that when you say just good job to your child, and if that's exclusively the way you acknowledge your child, it is overgeneralized. And it's like a star on their paper without explaining to them what they did well on their paper, right? So I like the way you XYZ, right? When you can specify what it is that they did, now you're not just having, it's like a dopamine shot of attention, good job. Now what they're going to look for is the good job. But if you're specifying what they did well, now you're pointing out to them what you personally appreciated. And if you want to take it another layer, if your child is old enough, I actually ask them, what did you like about before? So when a child comes to me and shows me their painting, what I aim to do, I don't always do this. This is not, perfection, at play. What I aim to do is, before I even answer what I think about their picture, what do you like about it? Do you like your picture? What do you think about your picture? How do you feel about it? I like it. What do you like about it? I like that it's blue. I see that. And right, you worked hard on it. You really took your time. What were you thinking of when you did the blue? If you really want to go deeper with it, that would be the way to do it. But just know that if you only say good job, the depth of what they understand with good job gets missed in that opportunity. One of the biggest things that I do when I engage with children is when I'm either redirecting them or outright stopping their behavior, I flood them with, I love you. This is not, you're not in trouble. I'm not mad at you. I need you to know that I need this to stop, but I love you. I want to help translate that, why I say it that way. When we are redirecting a child, they feel shame. They feel, right, for most of them, they feel this sense of failure. And so their confidence is dropping at that moment. What I'm trying to do is reflood the systems with love, with positivity, while still saying, I need this to stop. We have a hard time doing that because we think if we flood them with positivity, that they won't hear the stop, that we're watering down the stop and they're not going to listen. What we don't realize is if we don't get this thing back up, that's what's actually making them not listen, is they're dealing with shame at that moment. Their brain is being flooded with negative hormones, blocking everything. Anything that you try to say to your child in that space, you should assume they aren't hearing it well, because they are shutting down. So what I try to do in the moment is flood them, right? So now if I get upset with them, and I've gotten upset with kids, not children at the school, but in my family, you know, the cousin that I raised. And when I've gotten upset, I understand I've shut them down. And the circle back is, first, I love you. When I yell, it's not, I think parents do this sometimes, and it's something I deeply encourage you not to. If you wouldn't do that, I wouldn't yell. That is an unfair expectation to your child to hold up your emotional balance as a parent, right? I yell sometimes because I haven't learned how to deal with something that is frustrating for me. That's it. It's my stuff. You can help me. Your behavior can help. You know, you can try to help me. But even if you don't, I still love you. I still care about you. And so I really wanted to address the first part, because I think that's the part that gets us caught up. The second part that I would say is, and I've learned there's two parts to the second part. Number one, it's knowing how to transition out of something in a way that your child will respond to, right? You may not be setting him up for how to end the game in a way that he feels good about. An example is, hey, honey, I'm having so much fun with you. I'm going to have to stop in 5 minutes. Are you okay with that? No, I'm not. I understand. What would you like to happen? I would love to play with you for another 30 minutes. He's saying, I love you. Like, you're awesome. I want more time with you. You're great. Really want you to take a moment to think about what message is that sending to the child. All he's saying is, I want you, right? This is where the curious parenting part is embedded in. Asking ourselves, what is our child wanting? He wants connection. You know, using this curious parenting approach, what do you think your child is saying when they say, I want that too? Let's say the younger girl's name is Roberta and the older girl is Charlotte, right? When Charlotte is pushing Roberta out of the way to get your attention, because you're trying to give the young one, Roberta, the attention, and Charlotte's saying, but you're not, I'm good at it. I know how to do it. Number one, I don't want Roberta to lose the attention I was giving her. And number two, I'm trying to calm, you know, Charlotte down. I need to have a conversation with Charlotte. Do you think that mommy loves you? Do you think that mommy pays attention to you? Times when you feel like mommy isn't paying attention to you? Is there times where you think that mommy doesn't care for what you need or doesn't want to give you what you need? That's the love you part, is to set up, when are you not feeling loved? Curious parenting, part of what I was going to share with you is to actually sit with those who are 3, 4, 5 years old and older and have these conversations. Actually ask them, when do you not feel attended to? When do you not feel loved? If we start asking them, why do you feel that way? What do you think about that? What's the reason behind that? You're actually training them to understand that when they're off, they can ask internal questions. Subconsciously, that's what we're doing. Why do you think that way? Why do you feel that way? Now, right, you're helping them train their brain into asking these types of questions. Question, how do I get my child out of a car when I need them to come with me, but my child doesn't want to leave the car? Bonus question, how do I get my kid to wear shoes? An approach that I use, and I call it, it's not a crazy name, the next time, right? Okay, honey, I noticed that in this moment, right? This is the circle back now. I noticed in this moment, I was trying to show you, did you see mommy's face? Do you see how hard that was for me? I was trying to tell you that this is important. You may need to talk to them multiple times, but you say the next time. And when the next time comes and they didn't hear it, do you remember what we talked about? What was missing? What else do you need? I need this to happen. This is important for me. And so you're engaging them by valuing where they are, but also telling them what you need. But if you don't do the value where they are part, what they're basically telling you is, all right, well then great. You don't care about my stuff. I don't care about yours. I really want you to know that this is a practice. This is, and here's the ultimate point to this. If you agree with what I'm saying and you want to do it and you're struggling to do it, that is hopefully going to help you empathize with your child. It is not easy to change a behavior that you've been practicing for however long. Again, I'm not asking you to do this perfectly. I'm not asking you to be perfect parents. I'm asking you to understand that your children are just in their own world. Actually, one of the things I admired about children the most is they're way more present when we're yanking them out of it. There's this shock that happens in their system. So they may not be ready to listen to you, right? That's not because they don't care. They're just in their worlds. Let's walk with them, redirect them. Please set boundaries. Please set boundaries. Please express what you need, but also listen to where they are. Ask them, what made you do that? Why did you do that? Ask yourself, is my child trying to screw me? Or is my child a demon child? Did I produce a demon child? Or do I have a beautiful child who has not figured out how to respond to me well yet? Thank you all for those who are listening, those who are engaging. I really appreciate being part of your community. And
Yeah.
I look forward to come by, Joanna, at some
Okay.
point.